Now on ABC15 Arizona at 10.
I cannot recall an incident in city history where so many officers were injured.
An ambush on Phoenix police.
We have another officer hit. We're going to meet you at 51st Avenue in Elwood.
Officers in the line of fire during a tense standoff. A baby put in harm's way.
They breached the door. We heard a loud boom.
So much left to sort out, so many questions. None bigger than why.
This has to stop.
And tonight, so many across our state rallying around Phoenix police, officers putting their lives on the line to protect our community.
A lot to catch you up on right now surrounding this ambush and string of shootings. It all started about 2:15 this morning when police responded to shots fired near 51st Avenue and Broadway. That call leading to 5 officers being shot, 4 others injured by shrapnel or ricocheting bullets, and 2 other people found dead, including that shooter. ABC15 in that neighborhood all day and night trying to piece together exactly how this happened.
We begin our team coverage now with Jordan Bontke walking us through it all. Jordan?
Yeah, we spoke with a woman who says that she's the mother-in-law of Morris Jones. She says family came out to this scene this morning to say that Jones had been experiencing some mental health crisis for some time. His criminal history shows that he's been in and out of prison for most of his adult life. All of this as police prepare for the second day of this investigation.
I heard the projectiles. That close is how it was happening.
Austin Michael says he was sleeping when he heard the exchange of gunfire near 51st Avenue and Broadway in South Phoenix. Police responded to a call of a woman shot. Investigators say the first officer at the house was invited in by the gunman, now identified as Morris Jones III. That officer was then shot multiple times. That's when more law enforcement surrounded the home. Then another man comes outside.
An adult male came to the door holding a baby, an infant.
He eventually leaves the baby outside the door and is detained by police. We're told he's not a suspect and is cooperating with the investigation. Then when officers approached, they were ambushed by gunfire. The infant is okay, but 9 officers total were injured. Some were hospitalized, but all are expected to survive. Police eventually entering the home and finding Jones and his ex-girlfriend dead, both from gunshot wounds. The baby is believed to be their child. She's now in state custody.
A baby is safe today because of our Phoenix police officers.
Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego said the White House reached out with concern following the shooting.
I cannot recall an incident in city history where so many officers were injured.
The ABC investigators found criminal history for Jones dates back to 2004. He's been booked for things like car theft, firearms, and drug charges. We spoke with a woman who says she's Morris's mother-in-law who didn't want to give her name.
My son-in-law was full of anguish, anxiety, stress, and something in his mind just snapped at that point.
She told us Jones's current wife tried to tell police Friday morning that he's had mental challenges.
In the following week, he had an appointment to get a mental assessment, but that mental assessment didn't come fast enough.
In Phoenix, Jordan Bontke, ABC15 Arizona.
Let's bring in Faye Fredericks now. And Faye, you were also out at the scene all night tonight, spoke one-on-one with Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams.
Yeah, Chief Jerry Williams telling me that 5 of her officers are home tonight, 4 others still in the hospital, some facing surgeries in the coming days, but still in good spirits. We also talked about the baby involved in all this.
Having that young baby in the barrage of gunfire, I'm a parent. Most parents out there, grandparents, all the above. That just kind of gives you chills to think that person, that little human who did nothing to anyone, is involved in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah, Chief Williams clearly upset at the events of the last 20 hours, expressing her pride in her officers and calling this another brazen and senseless attack on law enforcement.
39 times this year alone, it's just February, y'all, so we're not even past February. We've had critical incidents like this across our country. There is this blatant disregard to human life. It's a blatant disregard of law enforcement. It has to stop.
Chief adding she believes it will take police, the community, and the justice system all working together to end the violence we're seeing here and around the nation. Steve?
The injured Phoenix officers getting all kinds of support. All day we saw members of the community showing up outside Banner University Medical Center, where some of those officers were getting treatment. The group Operation Blue Ribbon also there, putting up ribbons for those officers. This investigation still in the early stages, and we'll be following for you into the weekend every step of the way as we learn more. We'll be sure to update you on air on ABC15.com and on our app.
Right now, a new ABC15 investigation. They say justice is blind. When it comes to seeing how Arizona investigates and disciplines judges, so is the public. We're exposing years of behavior by a judge and her staff, all hidden from you.
There's no way for the public to know this.
Correct.
A whistleblower takes us inside a courtroom with cruel jokes, mocking memes, concerning conflicts, and some things that are just bizarre.
I hear those bubbles.
All rise. It's the order we all receive when a judge enters the courtroom. It's to show respect and honor, and it's why we call this investigation dishonorable.
Because we're about to show you how people on the other side of the bench were treated in one judge's courtroom and how the system failed to hold her accountable. That judge declined to sit down with ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biskobing, but tonight Dave's got the evidence and a warning. It's very graphic and cruel.
They're emails, memes, and jokes. Some racial, homophobic, and obscene. Some so cruel, it's hard to believe they were sent between a judge and her staff. It all happened inside the Maricopa County Superior Courtroom of Judge Aaron O'Brien Otis. This, of course, is Judge Otis. This is her bailiff, Barbara Chavez, and clerk, Kelly Schaefer.
You worked for the clerk's office for how long?
A little over 11 years.
How much of that was in Aaron Otis's courtroom?
Almost my last 2 years.
Schaefer was an experienced clerk. She worked the Jodi Arias murder trial, and she was transferred to Otis's courtroom because the judge would be taking on death penalty cases for the first time.
Had a pretty smooth career until you hit her courtroom.
Till I met Aaron Otis.
Before we get deeper into why Schaefer is sitting here, first we start with what happened in that courtroom.
You remember seeing these. I mean, how often did stuff like this get sent?
Almost daily.
Really?
Yes.
Like you're in a hearing and just these would pop up?
Yes.
We obtained messages from late 2017 through 2018, then pulled courtroom video to see what was going on as they were sent.
So there's one, and I'm just going to get it out of the way because it's maybe the worst. It's got no subject line, so you have no idea what you're about to open.
Yes.
I even got it highlighted here with a Post-it.
It came during a jury selection in September 2017.
Are there any jurors who have any physical conditions or illnesses that would make it difficult to sit through a trial of this length?
We're changing the voice of the woman you're about to hear.
My condition is embarrassing. I don't really want to. Okay, you want to talk in private? Okay.
In the cleared out courtroom, the juror says she has a medical condition that gives her uncontrollable periods.
I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. I don't want to put you in a situation where you're going to feel uncomfortable or anything like that.
Otis's bailiff emails this photo almost immediately after the juror leaves. We blurred the word at the bottom. It's the F word.
What do you think the public would think if they knew this was happening in cases as big as they're handling?
I would hope they would be disgusted by it.
By big cases.
Then you must impose the death penalty.
We mean murders and death penalty trials, like the State v. John Allen. He's one of multiple family members convicted of first-degree murder after they put 10-year-old Amy Deal in a footlocker.
He had the only key.
And at this moment in trial, the bailiff emails a pair of photos to Otis, comparing the defendant and his family to characters in movies. First, cannibals from The Hills Have Eyes. Then, Chucky. ABC 15 obtained many examples in many cases.
Sexist, racist?
Yes.
Just blatantly insensitive?
Absolutely. You name it.
To be clear, Bailiff Barbara Chavez initiated many of the mocking emails. But here's one first sent by Judge Otis about a defense attorney. Subject line, pants. Quote, not for trial or even ever. Otis again emails her bailiff a minute later. You can see all the cellulite on her butt. The bailiff then sends this picture you've been looking at, but we added the black box because the original image is just too graphic for TV news. We're not going to show video of the defense attorney, but this is Otis's expression moments after the photo is emailed. Jurors, defendants, their families, attorneys, even presiding judges, all targets.
Nobody was off limits. And Aaron Otis would even say, because at one point they took these memes, they printed them out, they laminated them, and they hung them on the wall in the division. So when you walked into the judge's division, there was a whole wall.
Well, they made like a collage
Oh,
of
yeah. absolutely. Like it was a collage on the wall. And then finally the court reporter went out and bought a little photo album book. And we were like, please take them off the wall and put them in your hate book. So they did. They had a hate book.
A hate book?
A hate book.
Is that what they called it?
That's what I called it.
Okay. But I mean...
What else can you call it?
I don't know.
In a lengthy statement, Otis absolutely refuted the claims about an album of memes and emails. And as for Schaefer, why didn't she just ask for a transfer?
They said if I wanted to leave, they were going to tell her it was at my request. I was afraid of her. I had a great career there.
In early 2019, after almost 2 years, Schaefer finally spilled everything to her bosses in writing. It forced the clerk's office to file a complaint with the Arizona Commission on Judicial Conduct, which oversees and investigates judges. The complaint included info about the same memes and emails, plus other allegations, manipulating judicial performance reviews, inappropriate conversations and interactions with defendants, like clearing a courtroom to throw a birthday party for the son of a 6-time convicted felon before sentencing him. The party had cupcakes and bubbles, and we dug up video to prove it.
Here are those bubbles.
Is there any point where you look back on it and you just go, oh my God, like I can't believe like I sat in there through all of this?
Every day. And I'm ashamed of myself for not coming forward sooner. I live with that every day.
You feel guilt for this?
Mm-hmm. I always tell my kids, if you watch somebody bullied and you do nothing, you're as bad as the bully.
Now, ethics experts told us the evidence we just showed you is unlike anything they've seen. One called it astonishing and horrific for a judge in life and death cases. Another called it childish high school behavior that undermines the public trust. Now, we're outside where the Commission on Judicial Conduct meets, and you might assume that they disciplined Otis. No. After 2 years, they dismissed the complaint. Why? We don't know exactly. Their records are not public. They don't have public meetings, and they declined to provide us with any more information. In this order, the only public document outlining their decision, it says, the commission found no clear and convincing evidence that the judge had initiated any memes. The commission considered the judge's remorse, and they warned her about appropriately supervising her judicial staff, including an employee's use of electronic communications.
I mean, that's almost passive. It's like she didn't participate, but she did.
100% she did. There were so many times that she would even say to her bailiff, that needs a meme, that deserves a meme.
The commission's order does not address the other allegations, and because they dismissed the case, they removed Judge Otis's name from the final public findings.
Have you read through this?
I have.
What do you think about this?
No one would have any idea who it was or what this is or what it pertains to.
Or what even happened.
No.
Barbara Chavez still works for the court. As for Otis, she joined the bench in 2012, but resigned in 2020. She left in the middle of the judicial investigation to work at the Maricopa County Attorney's Office. Emails show County Attorney Alistair Adele was involved in recruiting Otis. She's now a high-level prosecutor in the Capital Case Division, the unit that handles murder and death penalty cases.
That's the other thing. She now is on a capital caseload. So she is prosecuting people to put them to death. And I really feel that those prosecutors need to be held to the highest standard. And she's the most unethical person I've ever known.
Do you think she's been held accountable?
No.
And Dave, Erin Otis declined to sit down with you for an interview, but what else did she say in that long statement?
Well, she began by saying she always tries to act with integrity, and then she added that this was just a very brief and limited example of her time as a judge. But remember, we showed those emails were sent over at least a 1.5 year period. And now here's a key part of her statement. In retrospect, the situation related to the emails and or memes over email should have been discouraged and stopped. I admit that I did not handle that in the best way and have taken full responsibility for it. I have also taken full responsibility for anything I said over email that lacked professional boundaries. Otis also emphasized multiple times the Judicial Commission dismissed the complaint against her.
So what's next in the investigation?
Well, Steve, there's a lot more we still need to show and to know in all of this. We're going to dig deeper into the lack of transparency with these judicial investigations. We're going to look at how and when the county attorney's office hired Otis. And on Monday, we're going to air a report about that birthday party and allegations of other inappropriate contact with defendants.
Thanks so much, Dave. You can see that full report and all the evidence on abc15.com/investigators right now.
Tracking the latest with the coronavirus now, the FDA postponing their review of Pfizer's vaccine for kids under 5. Officials saying with this surge of Omicron cases, it makes sense to wait for more data on the third dose. Pfizer applied for the vaccine 2 weeks ago. Right now, studies on the 3-shot regimen are underway. The company expects this to be the most effective dosage for the youngest age group. New details about the booster shot. For adults, though, the third shot's effectiveness wanes after about 4 months, but still offers protection. That's according to the CDC. The study shows effectiveness against hospitalization drops from 71% to 54% in a matter of months.
Turning now to Canada, a judge issuing an injunction this afternoon to help end the ongoing blockade at one of the busiest international crossings in North America. We've been showing you scenes like this one that shows trucks and cars blocking the roads while people protest the company's COVID protocols, the demonstration disrupting the supply chain. The injunction now allows police to start clearing those protesters out of the area. It's video you'll only see on ABC15, a garbage truck bursting into flames near Thomas and 15th Avenue. That fire then spreading to the power lines above it. We still don't know what led to the fire or how many homes were impacted. The good news, nobody was hurt.
New at 10 and Operation Safe Roads reminder to secure your load. A shovel flies through the air, eventually piercing through the windshield of this SUV. It's happening along the I-17 near Daisy Mountain. ABC15's Venton Blandon speaking with the woman behind the wheel.
Most drivers know objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, but this object approached pretty quickly. A rogue shovel hitting Cheryl Milnicki's windshield.
I feel very blessed. I feel like I dodged a bullet.
She was driving her Dodge Durango along I-17 in North Valley.
I saw the car in front of me swerve, and I saw the car to the right of him swerve in the other direction.
The wife and mother says she was heading home from an appointment and was trying to get into the exit lane.
I didn't think I was going to make it. I really thought that was it for me. The hand of God, I managed to get into the shoulder of the road.
And this was no typical freeway debris.
I realized it's a shovel, and it is like, it twirled and it was coming straight, like almost like an arrow, right to my face in the windshield.
So fast, leaving no time to react.
The second my brain made the connection, it went through the windshield, and I just heard like a loud, almost like a popping noise. It was like the shovel came in, and then that handle kind of continued breaking my windshield all the way up, and it ended up diagonal across my steering wheel.
Cheryl eventually stopped with the shovel sticking out.
Then I could see I had blood. I didn't know where it was coming from, and I was like, and I had dirt and debris all over my shirt.
And a man offered help.
He was afraid to look in the car. He said, I really didn't expect there to be somebody alive inside.
It's unclear exactly where that shovel came from. In Anthem, Venton Blandon, ABC 15, Arizona.
Yeah, we got to get Cheryl some lottery tickets there.
Yeah,
so lucky.
Pretty darn lucky. Secure your load out there.
Absolutely. All right, turning now to our warmer weather. It is so nice out there, Amber. A really good weekend to be outside. Maybe hang out with the family outdoors.
Yeah, it's looking great. Of course, temperatures still stay in the 80s, so we're running about 10 degrees above normal. The mornings will be cool. Early morning temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and it's during the morning hours when air quality will be at its worst with little particle pollution spikes, but overall looking moderate through the weekend, so no huge concern there. The pollen count medium to high for juniper, and that UV index, if you're going to be outside, watch out for that. 45-minute burn time in the middle of the day, so just be careful in the late morning and early afternoon. Those are our prime sunburn hours. Winds will pick up a little bit tomorrow too. East-northeast winds 15 miles per hour here in the valley, gust to 25, so getting breezy in the late morning and early afternoon forecast for us. And then still pretty windy throughout the day tomorrow across northwestern Arizona, specifically in Bullhead City, where we've seen these wind gusts throughout the week near 40 miles per hour. That's going to be the case again for tomorrow. Here in the valley tonight, down to 49 degrees in Mesa, 47 in Scottsdale, 50 out in Apache Junction. Temperatures ranging from about 80 degrees from Fountain Hills down in Santan Valley to 82 in Gilbert, but of course spots farther north like Carefree and Cave Creek that are in a little bit of a higher elevation up there will be in the 70s, so a little cooler up north, and then Anthem at 78 for tomorrow. But the entire West Valley in the low 80s, temperatures well above average, not just here but across the state. Temps running above normal this weekend, and really it's going to be the warmest weekend so far of the year. Still freezing though in Prescott, Flagstaff, Heber, and many other northeastern Arizona spots overnight tonight. And then for tomorrow, 51 in Flagstaff, 52 72 in Heber, and mid-60s in Payson and Prescott, with 80s here in central Arizona and out to the southwest. And we're going to keep these 80s around as we head through the weekend. 80 degrees on Monday for Valentine's Day. We'll take you through the day. Breakfast temperatures that day in the 50s, low 70s at lunch, and low 70s at dinner time too, if you have any plans. And then as we head through the rest of next week, some big changes. Look at this temperature drop down to 64 by Wednesday. Gusty winds Tuesday, and even a slight chance of some isolated showers Tuesday night into Wednesday as this storm system comes in. It's going to be an area of low pressure coming out of the Pacific Northwest, moving right down into Arizona Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then another one potentially coming in right behind it from the north, kind of sinking down from Utah with some colder air. That will keep the snow potential going Wednesday night into Thursday along the rim and across northeastern Arizona. Now, it's still too soon to see how much rain or snow is coming, but we'll keep you posted as we get closer. For now, just expect the winds to pick up, expect that big temperature drop, and of course, at least a chance for rain and snow across the state Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even into Thursday across northern Arizona.
Still ahead, we're tracking your top stories tonight.
We're learning more about the Yavapai Sheriff Sergeant who was shot while on duty, plus an arrest in the death of a Valley Special Olympian.
Some new details now surrounding the health of Yavapai Apache Police Sergeant shot while on the job this week. Preston Brogdon is who we're talking about here. Undergoing surgery this morning, officials say he was shot in the abdomen while responding to a call near Camp Verde. The FBI issuing a warrant and now offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of Valentin Rodriguez. He's the suspected shooter in this case.
Tonight, an update to a story we've been following. John Merriman arrested in North Phoenix, accused in the death of a Valley Special Olympian. Police linking a weapon found at the scene to Merriman. Scott Harkness was found shot last weekend on the side of the road near Hayden and Camelback, and he did not survive.
New tonight, the city of Tempe officially authorizing the redevelopment of the Hayden Flour Mill property on Mill Avenue. The land currently owned by the city, it is one of the most iconic landmarks in the valley. We're told the project will work to preserve the landmark. Developers are expected to present an official plan to the council in the near future.
In just days, players expected to report to Arizona for the start of spring training, but opening day still in jeopardy.
Thanks for watching ABC15 Arizona, streaming 24/7 on Roku and these streaming devices.
All right, happening this weekend, MLB owners and players meeting to continue labor negotiations. Right now, the start of Cactus League play is in jeopardy as this lockout continues. Commissioner Rob Manfred says he hopes to reach an agreement quickly. Pitchers and catchers are due to report to camps next week.
Also this weekend, you can get your hands on some new used books tomorrow and Sunday. The VNSA book sale is going on at the State Fairgrounds. It is the largest used book sale in the Southwest. Books on sale for a fraction of the original price, and proceeds go to human service agencies in Arizona. You can also find things like puzzles, journals, and bookmarks.
Well, most people have picked their Super Bowl team by now, and the animals at Odyssey Aquarium, no different. Who they think will win the big game next.
ABC15 Sports, sponsored by Sanderson Ford.
Round 2 of the Phoenix Open wrapping up tonight. While some players advanced to the next round, one we have been following did not make the cut. ASU freshman golfer Preston Summerhays finishing his Phoenix Open debut at 6 over par. Tomorrow we move on to round 3. Officials expecting it to be the biggest day in terms of turnout.
Oh, we're just 2 days away from the Super Bowl now, and people across the country are making predictions about who will win, including Odyssey Aquarium's sea lion, Dodger.
Dodger taking a moment to pick his winner by taking down the losing team. The sea lion eventually predicting the Cincinnati Bengals will win.
Dodger sounds like more of a baseball fan, though.
Yeah, that's true. Does he really follow football that
Yeah,
closely? Who knows?
Night, everybody.